Good morning. Welcome to the Community Voice. I'm Steve Gradick, your host. Delighted to have you with us this morning. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you to our sponsors, Oak Mountain Academy and Tanner Health System. We're very pleased to have in the studio return appearance of the Community Christian Coalition, the CCC. I think the last time we were here was, 2020?
Yes, it was 2020.
It's been a while back. That was the beginnings of COVID, I think. Anyway, we have in studio the Executive Director, Robby Williams, and the Food Bank Manager, Roger Anderson. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, very soft-spoken. Anyway, let's just jump right in. The Community Christian Council, and I said coalition at the beginning, but the CCC, Community Christian Council in Tallapoosa, Georgia, has been doing a great work for many, many years. If you would, Robby, kick us off and tell us about the mission and for those who don't know about the Community Christian Council.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We, for lack of a better terminology, we kind of want to be a one-stop shop for our community. The resource center there at the CCC has what I like to say 4 components to it. We have a community food bank, which Roger will speak to mostly here in just a few minutes. We have a place that houses all of our canned goods and our non-perishables. We have a walk-in freezer where we're able to provide meats and breads, and very excited that this year we were able to get a walk-in cooler that we were able to provide fresh produce to our community. So super excited about what Roger's been able to lead at our food bank. Another component, we have community kitchen that's open every time that we're open during the month, and we're able to provide anywhere between 600 to 800 meals that night, depending on how many people kind of come in. And we have an industrial kitchen, and we have an amazing dining hall. It's beautiful. And what I really love about the community kitchen part of it is that we're able to facilitate that, but it's great partners with organizations and businesses and churches in our area that actually come in and they provide the food. So they'll either cook there at our kitchen and provide the meals, or they'll bring it in already prepared, and then they'll get it packaged ready to serve that night. So it's been really cool. Another part is our resource center side of it, where we're able to provide things like job skills. We're able to provide utility assistance. We have an Eckerd GED program that's housed inside of our resource center. We have Family Connections that's housed inside of our resource center, so we're able to offer that to the community. We really cool thing we began this year, launched, is a kinship care support group. So when a child is being relocated, instead of going into foster care, they can sometimes go with a family member. And what we discovered is that there are resources for those families that is largely unknown, and so we're able to connect those families with those resources and everything like that. So it's really cool what's happening there. And then the last piece of the puzzle for us is the medical clinic. We have a medical clinic that's open twice a month right now. We're looking to increase those hours, increase those services that are offered. But we're able to offer those basic medical needs, and then hopefully everything stays on track. In a few months, we'll be able to open up a dental clinic as well. So excited about that. We do have, and I failed to mention everybody that's in charge. So our community kitchen is led by Ramona Wilson. Our resource center is led by Jennifer Dobbs and myself. And then our medical clinic is ran by Zach Bush and Lisa Robinson. So very grateful for those people that are able to lead us into where we're going. We also have a kids club that operates every Thursday night that we're open, led by Naomi Milam, and we're excited about what she's being able to do with those kids. So a lot of cool stuff happening. We got more stuff coming down the pipe, but just excited about what's going on. And essentially, we want to be able to be a place that if you have a need in Haralson County, you can come to us and we can either help get that or we can find what it is you're looking for.
So the mission is really, in large part, to transform lives
100%.
overall. It's
Yes,
much
sir.
more than a food bank.
That's right. We do want to meet the physical need, but we also want to help you become a healthy person in general. So yes, sir, that's exactly right.
So we've got some stats.
Okay.
Let's see, you've helped more than 10,000 people and distributed more than 250,000 pounds of food just over the last year.
Yes, sir.
That's phenomenal.
Yes, sir.
But the way this is designed, you're moving people out of this, as it says here, the hopelessness, and into the vision of what they could be, the potential can be.
That's right. That's the goal, right? We want them to become less and less dependent on the resources. We know that there will always be needed, right? But we want every individual to become less and less dependent. That is the goal.
Last 2 years have been dominated by headlines about inflation, and that's in large part due to food and, of course, gasoline and fuel. What has that meant to the need and the demand upon the Community Christian Coalition, Roger, when it comes to the food?
Yeah, I think one of the things we're all seeing the impact of significantly higher food prices, but a lot of our clients every month, they have to make a decision. Do I put food on the table? Do I pay utilities? Do I pay gas? Do I pay childcare? Do I pay for my medication? That's just a constant struggle that this cycle of poverty builds. And obviously right now we're kind of having this, getting hit from all sides. Food prices are higher, gas prices are higher. It's been a hotter than normal summer, so utility prices are higher. So we're seeing a lot of families struggling. We're seeing a lot of new families that have never come to the food bank and asked for assistance before. And we're continuing to see our numbers of families that are needing assistance climb every week. Right. So it's a huge need in our community.
How do I assume the highest priority is keep the kids fed?
Yeah, that is our highest priority.
Is that what families, when they go through, you mentioned the decision process. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I assume that's taking care of the kids is number one.
So we kind of have two different groups of people that seem to be needing our services most. It's families with young children and it's senior adults.
That's right.
So both of those groups are struggling with these higher food prices, and that's where we're seeing the growth. Probably our senior adults coming and needing help, and then families with young children.
You mentioned the temperatures. The senior adults and hot temperatures always tend to be a concern.
Yeah. So one of the things that we've done, again, trying to be a resource center, working with some local partners. Back when it was so hot a couple weeks ago, we had several people help us, donate fans to people in need. So we're kind of constantly keeping a pulse on what the need is in the community, because again, we want to be that service to the community.
That's right.
Okay, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, Roger mentioned about community partners, and let's talk a little bit about that, and then we'll get deeper into each of the programs. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back with more with Robby and Roger and the Community Christian Council, the CCC, after these words.
The World Language Scholar Journey at Oak Mountain Academy is designed to provide students with a clearly defined, curriculum-based track to acquire essential knowledge and skills for success in biliteracy fields of study. The successful completion of this journey provides colleges with a method to recognize a rigorous foreign language immersion experience for all students at Oak Mountain Academy. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school, inviting you to journey with us on the mountain. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us. Discover your journey at OMA. Prepare, explore, and achieve.
Health is a journey. It's making better choices, even when it's not easy. It's taking care of yourself and the people you love. At Tanner Health System, we're there for you with every step, with primary care, heart care, cancer care, women's care, orthopedics, surgical services, and so much more. We're dedicated to helping you live and feel your best. So let's get on that journey to health. You've got places to be for many years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Community Voice. I'm Steve Gradick, your host. We're pleased to have in studio Community Christian Council, Executive Director Robby Williams, and Food Bank Manager Roger Anderson. And for those who don't know where the Community Christian Council is, it's 734 Bowden Street, Tallapoosa, Georgia.
Yes, sir.
And you can't possibly say that without saying that it's in the old Holcomb's Food
That's
Lab.
exactly right.
That's exactly right.
That's Dwayne Davis. We did a whole bunch of remotes there. Johnny Holcomb, miss him.
Wow.
And the whole family.
Yeah.
Big family. Anyway, but great use of the facility. Roger, let's stay with you for a minute. Whenever you drive by on a Thursday evening, basically you see a whole bunch of cars. So tell us about how that operation works and when it is, and just describe to us what goes on Thursday evenings.
Yeah. So our main food distribution is the first and third Thursday of every month, and it's from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And to your point, you do typically see a lot of people there. I mean, we're serving about 200 families, every time that we're open. And again, we're seeing those numbers continue to rise,
Sure.
with the economy going up. But, as Robby said, that night when people come in, they can receive a hot meal that night as well as a food box. And then we also usually provide some sort of frozen meat. And again, one of the things that we're really excited about this year is we've partnered with Tanner Health Systems. Robby mentioned the walk-in cooler. They're actually the ones who helped us get that walk-in cooler.
Mm-hmm.
And one of our goals is not just to provide food for families, but to provide healthier food options for families. Because a lot of times, particularly in an environment where the food cost is so high, one of the things that they're struggling to purchase may be fresh produce. So we're working with our partners at the Atlanta Community Food Bank to bring in fresh produce, trying to bring in that every time we're open to be able to give our clients more healthier food options as well.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And then when they come through, or if they don't come in for a hot meal and they drive through, they get a box, and that's to last them.
Yeah, so they get a box of staple food goods. It's about a 50 to 55 pound box. It's kind of designed to get that family through until the next time we're open. And then we typically, like I say, we have fresh bread that we give out each time. We try to do some type of frozen meat item, and then we're also incorporating the fresh produce. So a family, when they come through, they should receive enough food, to get them well on their way for that next couple week period.
Now, where do you get the food? Is this part of the Atlanta Food Bank situation, or is this just something y'all do independently?
Yeah, so that's actually, part of what's happening. We've kind of got a two-pronged challenge going on this year. So we've not only got increasing clients, but every year in the past, we've purchased a kind of a pre-packed food box, and that's been this Feed the Hungry drive that we do with our friends with Synovus Bank every year. We no longer have the ability to get that food box, that pre-packed food box. So now we'll be purchasing all of the food from the Atlanta Community Food Bank. So that's why this year's need with this Feed the Hungry program is even more critical, because we're going to have to be purchasing more of that food, so that'll increase the cost of that food box that is going out for us.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute, and either Robby or Roger, either one of you can address this. Now, I understand you said Synovus no longer continuing with that. Tell us about how you take in donations, how you host a food drive, how do people get involved, and even in the hands-on arena, lifting boxes and such.
So Synovus is still our partner with the Feed the Hungry program, and that food drive is actually going on right now through October 20th. So you can donate.
But we're not able to get the pre-packaged.
We're not able to get the pre-packaged
Okay, I see.
boxes.
Okay.
That was coming through another organization.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's why the Feed the Hungry program is so critical to us this year. And you can make a donation there at the Synovus Bank in Tallapoosa, next to the Piggly Wiggly. You can donate on the CCC's website. But that's going to be critical to us being able to continue to provide the food services that we need to provide to the hungry in Haralson County.
And it is a good opportunity for organizations or communities or schools or whatever to do a food drive to help supplement some of that. I know one of the things that in talking about canned goods and all that, I think we talked about what we really would like to have is like canned fruits, canned vegetables, so that we can provide a better, source of food for them. But so if anybody's out there looking to do a food drive, we'd be happy to partner with you with that.
Somebody want to make a cash donation, how should they go about it?
Absolutely. They can do it either through the website, or they can mail a check. We got a P.O. Box 815 in Tallapoosa. They're welcome to mail, or the right now one of the best ways is to go to Synovus and donate to the
Feed the Hungry.
Feed the
program.
Hungry that we have going on right now.
And
Pete,
Steve, I
go
think
ahead.
one of the interesting things, just to kind of highlight our partnership with the Atlanta Community Food Bank, just to kind of give you an idea of how far we can stretch a cash donation.
Yeah.
I mean, most people are familiar with the food prices these days at the grocery store. So,
Right.
for example, I can buy a jar of peanut butter from the Atlanta Community Food Bank for about 15 cents, compared to the $3 to $4 that it probably
right.
is at the grocery store. So we can really take those financial donations and stretch them a lot farther because of our partnership with the Atlanta Community Food Bank.
When you're serving kids, let's kind of go back to kids. Giving them nutrition and being smart about it is important. I mean, it's one thing for an adult, but for a child that's growing, they really have that nutritional needs. How do y'all kind of keep that in mind?
Yeah, and that's another place that we partner with Tanner Health System. So we partner with their Healthy Harrelson program. We actually really try to be strategic with the food that we're purchasing. So that food box, that staple food box, provides a family really the ability to plan out healthier meals, and then adding the produce in with that really gives them some options to make sure that the kids have healthy meals at home.
So the Atlanta Food Bank products or boxes, they all too have nutritional ideas in mind when what they provide.
Yes, Tanner actually provides us with recipes that, particularly when we bring in produce, some families may not know how to fix certain produce items.
Sure.
So we have recipe cards for that. We also have recipes through the Atlanta Community Food Bank of not only how to prepare healthy meals, but really how to stretch those that food to make it last longer.
Okay, and you can mail a donation to Community Christian Council, P.O. Box 815, Tallapoosa, Georgia 30176, or you can go to the website, communitychristiancouncil.org. And I imagine it takes a lot of money to keep this operation going. Even though you may get peanut butter for 15 cents,
Yes, sir.
you need a lot of peanut butter.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Yeah, we really are hoping in this Feed the Hungry program that's going on with Synovus through October 20th. I mean, our goal was to raise $50,000. That'll help us continue to purchase food for the next year and feed the hungry of Harrelson County.
And what's your annual budget?
For food, we run between $50,000 and $75,000 a year is what we need to purchase.
And I assume all these other organizations that y'all provide a centralized location and support for are also very grateful to be able to have that outreach. Because, if you cannot maintain an office, 5 days a week, having a location that you can do a day or two a week is also
Yes, sir.
helpful. Isn't that
Yes,
true,
sir.
Robby?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And one of the things that I think that, and I don't know the specifics, and I'm sorry, but I know, like, especially with the produce coming in, we're able to help other community food banks in the areas around to help provide even better foods for their clients as well, or their community. So we're excited about being able to help other food banks as well.
It says on your website that Georgia has the third highest overall poverty rate in the nation, and we rank 6th in the nation for food insecurity. So that's pretty high numbers.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think, one of the things, obviously we hear a lot of stories, every time that we're open, but one of the things I'll share with you is just we were about to close up our donation line a little while back, and a young woman drove in And just she drove up and she said, "Do you give away food here?" And I said, "Well, yeah, that's part of what that we do. Is we're a food bank." And unfortunately, she started tearing up and she said, "You know, God just told me to pull into this place because I don't have any food for my kids." And we deal with stories like that pretty consistently. Families, particularly with young kids, are struggling right now. So we really want to continue to be able to provide services for them.
Kind of neat that what was a family generational grocery store y'all have continued
That's exactly right.
giving out food.
Yes, sir.
That's kind of neat.
Yes, sir.
I think Johnny would probably be pleased. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with more with Robby and Roger in the CCC after this.
The Entrepreneur Scholar Journey at Oak Mountain Academy is designed to provide students with a clearly defined curriculum-based track to acquire essential knowledge and skills for success in business and leadership. Critical areas include identifying entrepreneurial characteristics, selecting a value position, and business model development. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school, inviting you to journey with us on the mountain. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us. Discover your journey at OMA. Prepare, explore, and achieve.
Health is a journey. It's making better choices, even when it's not easy. It's taking care of yourself and the people you love. At Tanner Health System, we're there for you with every step, with primary care, heart care, cancer care, women's care, orthopedics, surgical services, and so much more. We're dedicated to helping you live and feel your best. So let's get on that journey to health. You've got places to be for many years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Community Voice. I'm Steve Rydick, your host. Delighted to have you with us. We're honored to have in studio Community Christian Council, Executive Director Robby Williams and Food Bank Manager Roger Anderson. You know, I think all of our lives change. We call it post-pandemic. I call it the post-COVID crazies. Everything's different since COVID, and I can do a 20-minute rant on that. How has, I was reading here, I see here in 2019, the community kitchen served at CCC served 23,000 hot meals to Harrison County residents. How did COVID impact everything y'all did or have done?
You want to start?
Well, I know that there has definitely been an increase in families that we've needed to serve because COVID not only was dealt with sickness, but it dealt with job loss. Correct. And it dealt with income decreasing and people figuring out new ways to do things, which means, you know, some people didn't have a job no more.
Sure.
So definitely on the food side, it really ramped that up. It also ramped up the need for utility assistance that we have to offer, and even those job skills. I mean, we got a call last week from a guy that says, "Hey, I'm 73 years old and I need to go back to work. You know, so can you help me find a job?" So it's just ramped up every need that's out there. The medical clinic side of it as well has increased coming out of COVID, because a lot of people have kind of that fear a little bit that when they get sick, they don't want to go be that level of sickness again. So it's kind of increased the need for the medical side of everything. So for me, I think everything across the board is just really just kind of ramped up. Roger?
Yeah. I think the one thing COVID showed us all was how fragile our food system
That's right.
is, you know, whether it was grocery stores running out of food or something. So I think there's even more of a fear factor, particularly with people who are struggling with food insecurity today, about where is that food going to come from. I think that's the biggest thing we've seen. Now, we've actually had to change our whole operation, you know, how we distribute food on a weekly basis, but and we've continued that with that drive-through model, simply because we can't, the volume of people, we've had to maintain that drive-through model for food boxes. But to me, that's the biggest thing, is I think there's just still this bigger fear factor in people's mind about where's that next meal going to come from.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate y'all talking, and I don't want to to any way minimize or overlook. We got a free medical clinic. We got the PRC Pregnancy Resource
Yes,
Center
sir.
there. We've got kids clubs there. We got financial assistance. We got help with getting your GED. We got baby supplies. We got job skills assistance. You just mentioned that.
Yes, sir.
We got all of these things. So cynics, and I think we all have an element of at least being responsible for the whatever dollars we have, to be sure they go to the right place. And the cynic is always like, well, they're just lazy, good for nothing. They don't, they can't. And I assume that you do have had at least some people, unfortunately, it's true, I guess, everywhere, that are trying to scam the system and trying to get what they can
Sure.
for nothing. How do y'all kind of keep an eye on that and be sure that the real needs are taken care of?
Yes, sir. Well, I know it's for like assistance, utility assistance, and everything like that. We do have processes put in place that would kind of stop that from happening as far as the utility assistance process. But for food, I don't want to overspeak or do whatever, but if you're hungry.
You're hungry.
I don't know that it really matters how many times that if you're hungry, we want to help you.
Yeah.
That kind of level of.
I think one of the unique things about the Community Christian Council as a strategy, and it's really what drew my wife and I to come there, is it's made up of, about 30 different churches in the West Georgia area. And part of, unfortunately, part of what happens sometimes is people learn how to work that system.
That's right.
They go from church to church to church asking for help. Because of that partnership of all these churches, now if someone walks into a church building and says they need help, that church is able to send them to the CCC,
That's right.
and we're able to help them. And we do keep records there of
That's
how
right.
often we help people. So
That's right.
it makes sure that we help the people that need help and kind of weeds out the people who may be trying to work the system.
Well, I'm sure for people who want to donate or feel led to donate, it's good for them to hear that. And that makes good sense, because I know churches are, each has their own little food bank or whatever, from one church to the other before you know it. Okay. If someone wants to, real quick, if someone wants to volunteer and put hands to the mission,
sir.
how they should just simply give you a call?
Absolutely, give us a call. I was trying to remember the last 4 digits of our telephone number.
Okay.
I can pull it up real quick. I'm so sorry.
No, that's all
that's
right.
terrible. I know.
Well,
but
while he's looking for that phone number, Steve, I mean, folks,
Here it is.
if they want to volunteer, they can just show up on
Absolutely.
the first or third Thursday
Absolutely.
night, and we will kind of show them around, and we'll find a place for them to plug in.
And that's what I was about to say. If they call, I would really love for them to come see it, to see the scope of what all happens and see what is connecting with them.
770-574-5433,
There you go.
574-LIFE, P.O. Box 815, Tallapoosa
Yep.
30176, Community Christian Council.org. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming in. We're on Facebook Live this morning, so feel free to share that. And again, thank you all. God bless, and thank you for listening. Go out and make it a great day. You're in tune to WLBB Carrollton.